You want to be rich? Then stop thinking like the poor. That's the first rule. And believe me, I've met a lot of people in my life. Smart people, talented people, hardworking people, but they're still broke. You know why? Because they don't think big. They don't think like winners. They play it safe. They take orders. They wait for permission. Let me tell you something. Wealth doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't knock on your door politely. You have to go out and grab it. You have to demand it. Now listen, people love to talk about how I started with a small loan. Trump had money. Yeah, I did. But here's what they don't get. $1 million is nothing if you think small. You can have 100 million and still lose it all if your mindset is weak. And you can have 0 and still become a billionaire if you've got the guts, the vision, and the discipline. Success isn't about luck. It's not about handouts. It's not about feelings. It's about making decisions, tough ones, and never backing down. When I was young, I didn't want a job. I wanted power. I wanted to build, to own, to win. And I was willing to take risks, massive risks. While everyone else was comfortable with being average, I was obsessed with being the best. That's the secret, obsession. You can't casually become rich. You can't scroll your way to wealth. You can't wish for success while sleeping in. You've got to wake up with hunger. You've got to go to sleep with vision. And you've got to live like every day is a war, because it is. A war against excuses, against fear, against mediocrity. And here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Most people are lazy. They'll tell you the system is unfair. They'll blame the government, the rich, the economy. But they won't blame themselves. That's the real problem. You want to be rich? Blame yourself. Take responsibility for everything. Even the stuff that's not your fault. That's power. That's how winners think. And once you do that, once you stop waiting for the world to save you, you start becoming dangerous. You start becoming unstoppable. You start becoming rich. Now let's talk about value. Money chases value. That's it. That's the game. If you're not valuable, no one pays you. If you're incredibly valuable, the world lines up with checkbooks open. I didn't make billions by working 9 to 5. I made billions because I solved billion-dollar problems. Most people think, how can I make $1,000? Wrong question. You need to ask, how can I create something worth $1 million and sell it 10 times? Look, poor people trade time for money. Rich people trade results for money. That's a massive shift in thinking. That's how empires are built. You want wealth? Then learn how to sell. Sell your ideas. Sell your brand. Sell yourself. And don't let anyone lie to you. Sales is not about manipulation. If you believe in what you're offering, people will follow you. They'll invest. They'll pay. They'll stay loyal. When I started in real estate, people said, "You're too young. You're too bold. This project is too big." And I said, "Watch me." I didn't ask for permission. I didn't wait for validation. I trusted my gut, I did my homework, and I executed. Winners execute, losers hesitate. Let me be clear, being rich is not about yachts and gold toilets. That's just decoration. Being rich is about freedom. Freedom to say no. Freedom to walk away. Freedom to build your own life, not rent someone else's. Most people are trapped in a system designed to keep them tired, scared, and obedient. You break out of that system by becoming indispensable. You learn skills, you build assets, you create leverage. Leverage is everything. If you work hard but have no leverage, you're stuck. If you build a system, a brand, a reputation, then every hour you work multiplies. That's how the rich stay rich, even when they're sleeping. And I'm going to say something controversial, but it's true. Being broke is hard. Being rich is hard. Pick your hard. You want comfort? Get ready to be poor. You want wealth? Then get comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's where growth lives. Right outside your comfort zone. Right inside the fire. And let me tell you something, I love the fire. Let's get something straight. Mindset is money. If you think small, you stay small. If you think like a king, you build a kingdom. I've been around billionaires. I've negotiated with presidents. And let me tell you the difference between rich and poor. It's not luck. It's not IQ. It's how they think. Poor people think about spending. Rich people think about investing. Poor people focus on price. Rich people focus on value. You walk into a store and see a $2,000 suit. The poor mindset says, that's expensive. The rich mindset says, can I use that to make $10,000? Listen, I've worn $5 ties and I've worn $5,000 ones. And let me tell you, the tie doesn't matter. The confidence behind it does. That's what people pay for, certainty. When you walk into a room and people feel your presence, you're already rich. Now here's something no one tells you. Riches are built on risk. You don't get wealthy by playing safe. You don't get rich by asking permission. You get rich by betting on yourself and refusing to lose. I remember negotiating massive deals where I had everything on the line. People said, "Trump, this could ruin you." I said, "Or it could make me." That's what winners do. They bet big, they bet smart, and they take responsibility. No one's coming to save you. The government won't make you rich. Your boss won't make you rich. Your friends won't make you rich. You make you rich. And that means owning your life. If you mess up, own it. If you lose, learn. If you win, double down. People hate accountability. That's why they stay broke. They want the comfort of blame. I want the power of control. Here's a secret. I don't care if people like me. I care if they respect me. You want to be rich? Stop trying to please everybody. You're not in business to make friends. You're in business to win. And winning means outworking, outthinking, and outlasting everybody else in the game. You still want to be rich? Then stop scrolling, stop whining, stop waiting, and start building. Let me give you a golden rule. You make your money in the downturns. Everybody looks like a genius in a booming market, but when the tide goes out, you see who's been swimming naked. I never swam naked. I built empires during recessions. That's when the smart people buy. That's when I buy. Most people panic. The rich, we see opportunity. When real estate crashes, I'm buying buildings. When stocks drop, I'm buying companies. When people complain, I'm creating value. Crisis is the greatest classroom for wealth. Why? Because pressure either breaks you or it builds you. If you want to be rich, stop being afraid of losing. You'll lose money, you'll make mistakes, you'll get burned. So what? Get over it. You know how many times I've been counted out? You know how many people said Trump is done? Guess what? They're watching me from the cheap seats while I'm still in the arena. Because I don't quit. Quitting is the fastest path to poverty. And let's talk about haters. You'll have them, especially when you start winning. They'll call you greedy, arrogant, lucky, but what they're really saying is, I don't have the guts to do what you're doing. I never cared what the critics thought. I cared what the bankers thought. I cared what the deal looked like. I cared what the bottom line said. You can have the best ideas in the world, but if you're scared to be bold, you'll die average. So here's what I want you to do. Find your edge. Sell your value. Scale fast. Don't apologize. And when you finally make your first million, don't relax, reinvent. That's how you go from rich to unstoppable. You're not here to be average. You're not here to survive. You're here to dominate. Let me leave you with something I've learned, something real. Being rich is not just about the money. It's about the freedom. The freedom to say no. The freedom to live on your terms. To take care of your family. To walk into a room and own it. But it's not handed to you. You earn it. Through sleepless nights, through risk. Through relentless discipline. You think I got here by being lucky? No, I got here by showing up when others slept. By betting on myself when nobody else would. By walking into the storm when everyone else ran. People say money doesn't buy happiness. You know who says that? Broke people. Money buys option. It buys time. It buys security. It buys the ability to say, I control my life. Listen, I don't care where you're starting from. Broke? Good. That means you're hungry. No connections? Even better. That means no one can take credit for what you build. No experience? Perfect. That means you'll learn my way the right way. But you better decide right now, are you going to sit and wish or are you going to move and win? No one's coming to save you. No handouts, no magic, no fairy tales, only work, only guts, only you. And if you've got that fire, even just a spark, fan it, feed it, fuel it. Because let me tell you, getting rich is the greatest revenge against every doubt, every hater, and every limitation they tried to put on you. You want to be rich? Then act like it. Go out and take what's yours.